Hi, I'm Shirley Stebbins, and I'm speaking for the St. Croix Valley Camera Club. This is our photo display for Karl Oskar Days, and one of the things that I took a picture of were the flowers at the Minnesota Arboretum, which has enormous amount of possibilities down there for photographers. And all of these are done by Camera Club members, and we are happy to have new members anytime.
Hi, I'm from the St. Croix Valley Camera Club. Here's one of my photos here, taken in the Southwest in New Mexico. I named it Fall Cow, and I love cows. Yes. I got interested in photography first because my father ended up with a Polaroid camera and gave me a bunch of film, and it was just magic. And then I actually got a job as a photographer on a weekly magazine. So actually, it was more of a newspaper. That was a long time ago. It was black and white when the paper was in black and white. But this one is Kodachrome. ASA 25. I'm going through old photos to see what I can do to update them.
Yeah.
But I'm currently, after I've been through several phases, my current phase is I'm interested in the iPhone photography, and there's other good cameras out there with good photography also, but I just switched, so it's very free for a short person, and it's freeing also in that people don't notice your equipment. I used to haul all this equipment around, and you get your camera out and that makes a big thunk when you take the picture, and people would get all uptight. So now I'm kind of taking some portraits with this, and it's less obtrusive because a lot of people are doing that. I was a Nikon lady. Yeah, absolutely. The Canons were heavier, and that wasn't originally why I got Nikon. I noticed as soon as I did that the Canons were heavier. I used the light meter handheld for a long time, but eventually I learned to identify the color of a rock outside that was in that perfect gray zone.
Yeah.
And I'm really good I carried my gray card with me for a while, and if you use that gray card a lot, you can memorize that color, and you can find a rock, and now I can estimate from the sidewalk even what the exposure should be.
Sure.
But I would usually take one right on the money, and I'd undershoot a little, take a little bit of it, the edge off the light. Well, I'm in my postcard phase. So I was interested in landscape. First I was interested in journalism, street photography, and journalism, pictures that told a story. Yeah. And then I went through the phase of landscape because I went into a landscape that was new to me, the Southwest, and was just amazed. So I went through that phase. But I love taking pictures of people, and I love to travel. So I'm in the age group that likes to travel a lot. And so I just took a trip to Washington, D.C., and took a lot of really postcard pictures that are just wonderful.
Yeah.
And post them for my friends to look at on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. I am not as interested in that as some of the other people here. Now we have another member here. Why don't we talk to her? She is very interested in post-processing and very good at it. So here we go. This is her.
What? No.
This is Denise.
She mentioned that you're interested in post-processing.
Yes, yes.
Well, I am.
Let's take a look at your photos.
Hi, I'm Denise Curtis, and I'm from the Taylors Falls area, and I am in the St. Croix Valley Camera Club.
And when did you start taking pictures? As a teenager?
In college. When I first was in college, I was a journalism major. So we had to take a photo class.
Yeah.
So I learned on an EOS Rebel film. But I didn't take photos a lot after that. And I just kind of got back into it when the DSLRs came out.
Were you shooting mostly film or slides back in the early days?
Well, I was in the Peace Corps, and they told us to take slides because we could bring them back and do presentations easier.
Yeah.
So that's what I started with, slides. I was a naturalist for quite a long time, so I'm interested more in the flora and fauna, but I'm an eclectic shooter. I shoot whatever's in front of me.
Now, I can imagine that this has had some post-processing in Photoshop.
Oh no, it came out like that.
That was good. Thank you. Thank you.
So what I did to this photo, I can't even remember what I did to this photo, but I don't use Photoshop, I use Corel.
Oh, okay.
A different photo processing. So I took this, it was in the winter, and what these are right here, these are all little sparkles from the sun, reflections onto the water.
Mm.
So actually it's blue in real life. When I put it in post-processing, I put it on infrared, and then I really put the saturation up, and I made the rays more prominent.
Yeah.
So I made it look like the 70s.
I mean, it really has a watercolor feel in a way.
Yeah. And so this is fog, which I don't see on my computer. It came out this way when I ordered the print on the metal.
Huh.
So I can't even see that fog on my photo on my computer at home.
Do you,
So this is my photo. And actually, this picture
Mhm.
is the
I love
same tree as that.
over here at the end?
Yes.
Right, but a different photographer.
Oh, the same tree. Hey, come on. You can't take a picture of another person's tree, can you?
No, it is Mike's tree.
We've all named it.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
Mike's tree.
Mike's tree.
This is Mike's
Uh-huh.
tree. It's a tree in Interstate State Park on the Taylor Falls side.
Oh, okay. All right.
Down by the group camp. I like street shooting, but I don't feel comfortable with it, but I'd like to do street shooting. Mac, I like astrophotography too, like Milky Way. I got some awesome photos of the Northern Lights.
Ooh.
Right at the end of my driveway in Taylor's Falls.
Now, is that where you have to really have an open exposure for quite a while?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you put it on tungsten. So that's a good tip.
Oh.
Put your camera on tungsten, and I used to be a science teacher too, so
Oh.
yeah, put your camera on tungsten. And this is mine too.
Oh, yeah, and the ducks, huh? Are those
The
goslings?
Goslings, yeah.
Yeah.
Baby geese.
Okay. Well, why don't you introduce me to someone else here?
This is Shirley Stebbins.
Hi there.
She volunteered to help organize this show for the camera club.
That's right. I'm from Moose Lake, so
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a drive coming down here. This is one of my pictures that I've done. I'm very interested in birds, flowers, and scenery. So I tried to do something of everything for this show. And I've been shooting pictures for a long time, but I started out with slides, and then I moved on, of course, to regular film, and now I love digital, of course. Doesn't everybody? So this is a great way to capture a picture that you wouldn't have been able to get before.
Now, do you sharpen afterwards? And
I do sometimes use sharpen, and also there's a couple of things that add a little more light or a little less light depending on how it turned out, you know, whether it was kind of dark out when I took it. I don't use very much of it, but because I kind of like the way things come out, you know, and I love that other people use them, but I'm just not into as much post-processing as some people.
Now, how do you frame your photos? Do you do them yourself?
I do, yeah. This was just a very simple frame that I purchased and had done. But a lot of people do some wonderful framing to, you know, really set off their pictures. And this one people have been mentioning at the show today, how this color really sets off the pictures. That's Stuart Crenshaw who did that one and chose that particular picture. And also the way Mike Schrun did his, they're great. Yep, so Mike does no glass just for that reason, because it's expensive and shiny, but also that that it's lighter. Well, what's happening is that it warps. And so you'll see that on some of his pictures. This one in particular, you can see them, that if you don't have a glass in it, it's a bit of a problem.
Oh, it depends on the atmosphere of the room
Yes,
too, doesn't it?
exactly. So when
Yeah.
the humidity gets to it, that's when you end
Yeah.
up with some of that warping for that reason.
Well, tell me about the club. Do you meet monthly?
We meet monthly in Center City at 6:30. It's the third Monday of the month. And we have a group of about 40 people that belong right now. And it's a great place to improve your skills, to learn new techniques. We have a speaker first for every meeting, and then a short business meeting, and then what we call a salon, where you can share your photos and have people look at them and make suggestions for how you can improve them or change them up to make them even better.
Now, when you share photos, are you talking about hard copies or projecting them?
Projecting.
Yeah.
Yep, we all send them in and we have them projected up where everyone can see them. And suggestions for how this could be framed differently, or the size it could be, or even if it could be turned differently. So
Yeah.
lots of really good suggestions from the experts who've been in this club a long time. I haven't been. I'm a short timer. So
Well, are you a long timer?
Yes, I think I joined the very first year of the club, maybe about 9 months after it started,
Yeah.
back in 2014.
What's the criteria for joining?
Interest. And I was looking for some new friends. And they're a great group.
Yeah.
So can I comment on some of these prints?
Please.
Not everything is printed the same. Some of them are on computer paper, printed on a computer.
Yeah.
Some of them are black and white. And some of them, like this one over here that we looked at of Denise's, are on metal. So this is actually a metal print on a piece of metal.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
and this is Gary.
That is
This
canvas.
This is on canvas as well.
canvas.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And we've got more around the corner.
Yeah, it's there's so many new options on printing. There's things you can print on cloth, clean cloth, and then it'll cling to the wall,
Nice.
So that's very fun. Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by the exhibit. Remember to take some